Well, welcome back to our study going through the four priorities. We are on chapter 8 this week, and the title is Physical Assets Caring for the Temple. Somebody might be wondering, what is the temple? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. But let me start off with a few thoughts here about the physical aspect of our lives. Somebody said it's important to remember when exercising, start slowly and then gradually taper off. Think about that. One man said, my idea of exercise is pulling apart my socks that have static cling. Wow. Anyway, the other guy said the only exercise he ever gets is exercising his memory. And you know, there really are people like that. I heard about a guy the other day that sucked his stomach in so hard, he threw his back out. You got to be careful about that one too. Someone said this the other day, and I thought it was rather insightful. They said, life is tough, but it is tougher if you are stupid. Think about that. And I would also say this, life is too short to be stupid, especially when it comes to the area of taking care of yourself physically. You know, we need to take care of ourselves spiritually. We need to take care of ourselves emotionally. We need to take care of ourselves mentally. But so often, we don't take care of ourselves in terms of the physical aspect of our lives. I was checking out a passage of Scripture, and in the Living Bible, this is what it says in 1 Timothy chapter number 4, beginning with verse number 7. It says, spend your time and energy in the exercise of keeping spiritually fit. Bodily exercise is all right, but spiritual exercise is much more important and is a tonic for all you do. So exercise yourself spiritually and practice being a better Christian, because that will help you not only now in this life, but in the life to come. So what I want to do in this little session is to talk about Dr. T's tips for staying in tip-top shape. Dr. T would be me, Dr. Tolson. I've got 25 tips I want to give you, maybe even more than that, so let's go. And I'm not going to talk a lot about a lot of detail under each of these. I just want to give you the 25 and then we'll move on. The first one is you got to take personal responsibility. Number one, you got to take personal responsibility for your physical fitness. And no one else is going to do it for you. It's up to you. Number two, gain a physical edge through emotional health. Because you see, even the emotional side of your being is going to impact your physical side, and the physical side will impact your emotional side. We're one whole unit, physically, mentally, socially, emotionally, and spiritually. And if any one of those is off, it's going to impact everything else. Number three, change your habits. Breaking old ways and establishing new patterns are necessary. So change your habits. You got to have good habits. Number four, you got to understand the value of sleep. I didn't sleep too well last night. And in fact, in my room with my wife and I, it's a wonder she's still with me. But not only did we have the air conditioner on last night, and so that was making a noise, but next to my bed on the floor, I have a small floor fan, a Holmes model, and that's turned on low. And then next to me on the nightstand, I have a sleep machine with a white noise playing. My wife wears earplugs. I have no earplugs. I do have a ringing in one ear, and that kind of gets me through the night. But sleep was God's idea. Rest was God's idea. Someone has said if you don't come apart and get good rest, then you're going to come apart. Number five, develop healthy sleeping patterns. Here are a few tips. Retire at a similar time each evening. Arise at a similar time each morning. Have a quiet room, which is not what I have, and there are many more tips. But get a good night's rest. Number six, don't make too big a deal about insomnia. We're all going to go through different times when maybe we don't sleep as well. We find it difficult to go to sleep. But here's one sleep expert said, pray, listen, meditate, read the Word, write in a spiritual journal if you wake up in the middle of the night. Just don't lie there and fight going back to sleep. Someone said that insomnia can sometimes be a symptom of depression. So you need to check with your doctor and check that out. Number seven, don't oversleep. Headaches often come when we oversleep or a stiff neck because we're there too long. Number 8, learn to take a nap. I don't do that as frequently as I should, but some of the great leaders of history always took that 15, 20-minute nap every day in the afternoon, like Thomas Edison, John F. Kennedy, Winston Churchill, and even Jesus himself. Number 9, exercise for sound sleeping. Someone said don't exercise vigorously just before going to bed. That kind of gets you pumped up, but exercise the appropriate amount at the appropriate time during the day can really help you rest well at night. Number 10, decrease intake of fat. That's a big one. We won't go any further in that one. Number 11, decrease intake of sugars. That's a big deal in terms of getting a good night's rest and being healthy physically. Number 12, replace processed snacks with fruit. And I love oranges, I love tangerines, I love good grapes, but get more into fruit than all the processed snacks. And I'm a big snacker, but learn to snack in a healthy way, and fruit's a good replacement. Number 13, have a balanced diet. At least 3 meals a day of the right kind of food. You've got to have something in your system to run the big machine. So don't undereat, but make sure you eat enough and you eat the right things. And in the book, we talk about that in the 8th chapter. Number 14, avoid overeating. Put smaller portions on that plate. Learn to push back. You don't have to eat everything you put on the plate. I know you think about the starving people in another country. Maybe the answer there is just don't put as much on the plate, but smaller portions. Number 15, buy garden variety stuff or buy direct. Always protect the most direct connection from the Father's hand to your table. So that is very important that you try to get things, especially the vegetables and things that don't have all the things processed in them that are unhealthy for your system. Number 16, drink a lot of water. I try to drink at least 4 to 6 bottles of water a day, and that flushes your system out, especially when I do a detox, which I do twice a year along with my wife. So you drink a lot of water. Number 17, use exercise as both appetite and weight reducer. Use exercise. You got to exercise, and we are big on this chapter in terms of that whole area of exercising. Number 18, stay at home. Stay at home. When you eat out, you consume many more calories, fat, and sodium, and so therefore eating healthily, even when you go out, is very important, but eating that proper balance and so forth, stay at home. Number 19, exercise for the heart. There are 5 aspects to fitness evaluation. Listen, cardiorespiratory endurance, muscle strength, muscle endurance, flexibility, and bodily consumption. I'll never forget a few years ago, a meeting with the great coach John Wooden, who coached at UCLA. And when we met with him, he was at that point 95 years old. But he said, John, the only reason I'm able to continue to do what I do and get around at age 95 is I have a trainer who comes over from UCLA and he stretches me every day. So that flexibility is very important. Number 20, exercise for the muscles. So you need to be able to continue to build that strength and endurance, and so you've got to exercise the muscles. Number 21, exercise for flexibility. We've kind of already talked about that with Coach Wooden. Number 22, exercise for mind and spirit. So read, and we're going to talk about this later when we get to the mental aspect of it. Think, pray, get in the Scripture, get in the Word. But exercising the mind and the spirit are so important in terms of being a well-rounded whole person, especially when it comes to the physical aspect of your life. Number 23, bike or walk. I don't run, I walk. For years, I have walked. And the reason is I did a study of this man who walked all the way across the United States a number of years ago, and they tried to assess whether you could get as much out of walking as you do jogging or running. And the conclusion was you can. It saves your knees, and eventually, those knees are going to go one of these days. So I do the walking. I choose to do walking 3 to 5 times a week. And when I walk, I can think. When I tried to jog, I couldn't think. I was just trying to get through it. So ride a bike, walk, swim, whatever, but I prefer the walking. Number 24, exercise in the morning if you can. I think that's a really important deal. I'm not a morning person, so I don't exercise in the morning. I exercise in the late afternoon. But again, a lot of experts say that morning is really important. Number 25, choose what works for you when it comes to exercise. You don't have to do what everybody else does. You pick your program, but the key is that consistently you are exercising. Number 26, stick with it. You got to do something consistently. That is the key. Number 27, continue it until the hearse arrives. Never stop exercising. Take care of the temple. The exercise is key. Also, you need to be realistic when it comes to the exercising. Choose appropriate exercises for you, your body type, your age, etc. That is a critical thing. Number 29, and finally, give your body a chance. Get the right balance of food, water, rest, and movement. Very important that that's a part of your regimen. Again, let me read that passage from 1 Timothy chapter number 4, verse number 7 and 8. Don't waste time arguing over foolish ideas and silly myths and legends. Spend your time and energy in the exercise of keeping spiritually fit. Bodily exercise is all right, but spiritual exercise is much more important and is a tonic for all you do. So exercise yourself spiritually and practice being a better Christian, because that will help you not only now in this life, but in the next life to come. Well, you think about that real hard.